Hello, everybody, and welcome here to round number 14 of season number 2 of the DRL Red Bull GT Series from here at Sonoma Raceway in wine country for 28 laps of racing. Brooke Packett's on the pole for the Mustangs and the overall pole sitter. Kyler Anderson's on the pole for the Corvettes. Byron Webb's on the pole for the Vipers. As I got a fly that's bothering me right now. And Jaguar pole sitter is Timo Mauser. Show the rest of the grid. Titan Nichols starts in last place. So there you go. Point standings coming in this race. Prudence Martindale is the points leader by 6 points over Addison Peterson. Riley Pearson's 28 points back in third. Fourth is Kyle England, 29 points back. Titan Nichols, who is starting at the back, he's fifth in the standings, 41 points back. Sixth place is Timo Mauser, who is 44 points back. Tatiana Guerra is seventh, 47 points back. Byron Webb is eighth, 48 points back. Bradley Reams ninth, 50 points back. He is tied with David Heller, who's 10th. However, the tiebreaker is that Bradley Ream has a better average finish than David Heller. So time to get these cars rolling off. We're going to go green flag racing shortly. And I will point this out to anyone. There will not be full course cautions. And looks like somebody had a problem on the grid, and that's Quentin Moore. So that's going to be a wave off. Officials like, nope, wave off. So that is an automatic wave off. They've waved the start off. So Quentin Moore's problem can get fixed. So that's why they have waved off the start. We're going to try again, make sure everyone takes the green flag. All right, looks like no troubles in the back. As I don't know why Brooke Packett slowed way down, unless it's just the way this track is designed. No worries, they got straightened out, so here we go, coming to the green flag to begin round 14 of the DRL Red Bull GT Series. It is green. There's going to be a lot of incidents in turn number 1. Especially the fact these drivers are racing on a road course, which suits these GT cars really well. Jesse Hart has moved into the lead in the Corvette class, running in second. Kyler Anderson back to third. Byron Webb is now the leader of the Viper class. As we head through the S's here. And Razor Callaghan just had the lead for the Jaguar class until he ran a bit wide. As Prudence Martindale, our points leader, someone kicked up some dust. Not sure who that was. Jaguar and Timo Mauser. They're battling with Will Parrish as we're going to complete the end of the first lap. Brooke Packett leads. Jesse Hart just overdrove the corner a bit. Looks like she got the wall, and that's going to allow Christopher Bright to take second place. I see a bit of a gap back there as we check the back of the field. Looks like Titan Nichols at the rear of the field. Titan, by the way, came into this race running well in points. He's fifth in the standing, so this is not what he definitely needed. Also, want to thank Papa John's for providing me some pizza so I can call this race, which I'm actually having it right now. Christopher Bright just ran a bit wide. Jesse Hart's going to take the second spot away. Tyler Anderson trying to chase Jesse Art for the Corvette lead.
Wow.
Gutierrez there. Bound for the Jaguar lead between Prudence Martindale and that's Razor Callaghan running in the 7th position. Callaghan will have the preferred line for now, but Martindale's going to try to take it back.
Hello.
Hi, Steven.
How are you?
Fine. Martindale going to take the spot away. Thank you.
No problem. You working tomorrow?
Mm-mm.
No.
Yeah.
When is your next day?
I work tomorrow. So I'm not going to the Taco Tuesday with you.
Oh, wow.
Saw some skid marks in turn number 7. I do not know who those belong to as Jesse Arts off the course a bit. We're being told it's a 27 and a 6. That's Kyle Langland and Emma Kaiser. Something apparently happened to those two. Let's take a look at the replay here. That's not good for Kyle Langland because he came as race 4th in points. Oh, that's why. That would be why. Emma Kaiser made a rookie mistake. Wheel hop. And she lost the back of the car. It looks like Kyle Langland did the same. Nearly collected the looked like did collect the 60. And Zachary Fitzwater also spun out in turn number 7. And with no full course cautions to save them, that's not going to do them any bit of good, if you ask me. Yeah, got a little bit of Alexander Underwood. Of course, the officials advise the drivers they're only going to throw local yellows. They're not going to throw full course cautions as Brooke Packett overdrove the corner a bit. Andrew Williams back here at the rear of the field. Andrew came in this race. Let's see, where is he in points? 17th in points after a bad finish at Auto Club last week. Bradley Ream just ran off the track a bit. He carried way too much speed through that corner. Someone kicked some dust up in turn number 10. I thought I saw some skid marks in turn number 11 as Brooke Packett's running a bit wide. Titan Nichols is already 22 seconds back, so this is not good for Titan. I know the skid marks from turn 7. I don't know where the skid marks came from in turn number 11. And I think also what happened is when the 6 and the 27 got stuck in the sand, they had to teleport to pit road. So and it looks like we had skid marks. Somebody got turned in turn number 11 because I see some skid marks on the outside of the racetrack. Like, let me get you a good camera angle. Right there. There's some skid marks right there. I don't know who that came from as Titan Nichols just ran off the course. We're actually going to solve that mystery of the skid marks. So while Brooke Packett leads, we'll jump back, look at a replay to see where those skid marks came from in turn number 11 as Brooke Packett leads here at Sonoma. So we found out where the skid marks came from off of turn number 11. It belonged to Angel Gutierrez. Looks like he makes contact with Prudence Martindale, and then he's going to come off the nose of Will Parrish. And that's what sent the 2 and the 1 car around. So that would explain why there was skid marks over in turn number 11. So, and Gutierrez was running in the 6th position. So tough break for Angel Gutierrez. Also, a tough break for Will Parrish. He was in the top 10 with Gutierrez, but now he's going to be fading outside the top 10. So that's what happened. Why there were skid marks in turn number 11. Let's go back to live action here at Sonoma. As Brooke Paquette is leading this race still, as we welcome you back from our looking back at a replay. As looks like Jesse Art ran off the track there in turn number 10. Looks like Emma Kaiser and Kyle Langland, I believe, have returned to the race. Survey says. Let's see if the 6 and the 27 have returned back to the race. Indeed, they. Kaiser has. Kyle Langland has. So they're now, unfortunately, 3 laps down. What they got to hope and pray for is drivers to have troubles during the course. More drivers to have issues and or wreck out of this race. Brooke Paquette getting a bit squirrely there, so. Paquette still leads the Mustang class in overall. Viper leader is Christopher Bright. Corvette leader Jesse Art. And Prudence Martindale is the leader in the Jaguar class. Let's pull up the standings here. Brooke Paquette comes into this race. So far down the points table, 13th in the 30th in the standings. Second pole of the year, 1 top 5, 3 top 10s. She has next to last in points of the drivers that have run every race this season. So this is a really need a good run to turn what has been a not so good season around for this 75 team. Even though, yes, I forgot to add her on the roster, but to be fair, it was because I did signups at like 3 in the morning, so. We know Prudence Martindale is running in 5th. The gal that was trying to run her down for the points lead, where is Addison Peterson? She's all the way back in 24th. Came in this race 2nd in points. Oh, Annie Crenshaw's got no front end on her 7-Eleven machine. Looks like Annie Crenshaw has been involved in an incident I'm not aware of. Let's actually look at it right now. Yeah. We're going to find out where this damage got. Let's see what happened to Crenshaw here. Let's see. You're on board Crenshaw. This is going into turn number 7. Contact here. Quentin Moore. And who was that? Was that David Heller? Wham! Quentin Moore goes on his side. It was David Heller. That was a lot of damage to the 7-Eleven machine. Quentin Moore has dropped back in the running order as Brooke Packett is off the course. Christopher Bright ran through the corner well, even though there was a lot of dust in his windshield. Jesse Hart in third. Annie Crenshaw came in this race 23rd in the points. This is not going to be a good points day for her. Q-Man was 19th in points coming in this race. So we have just investigated the incident there. So that investigation now knows why Annie Crenshaw has no hood on her machine, and now we know where the damage came from. It was contact with Quentin Moore after Quentin made contact with David Heller in turn 7. So that's a tough break for Annie Crenshaw. Brooke Packett looking for her first win of the season. Your class points, by the way, are down in the description. Martindale's the Rookie of the Year points leader over Addison Peterson, Riley Pearson. Let's see where the 55 is running in the running order, because he's the guy that's trying to run down the two ladies for the points lead. Riley Pearson's running in 13th. He was, as I mentioned, third in points. Kyle Langland down there in dead last came as race fourth in points. So, excuse me. So a lot of drivers who came in running well in points here at Sonoma. This is not what they want. This is not the runs they were hoping for. So, and I can tell you, this is going to shake the points up dramatically heading into next week's race at Texas as we start heading out to the east. And looks like Quentin Moore just came to pit road. So Quentin will fall a lap down as a result. I think he had to come to pit road to repair some of the damage on his Viper. Unfortunately, he's now one lap down as a result. I also noticed David Heller is way back here at the rear of the field. He's getting close to being lapped, if you ask me. Andrew Williams there. Skylar Taylor's on pit road. And so is Logan Williams. I wonder if these are scheduled pit stops. Gutierrez is in, probably to repair some damage on his machine. I'm starting to wonder if these drivers are going to have to start making green flag pits or start making pit stops before this thing is over with. I mean, they have enough fuel to make it. I mean, the fuel is like 40 laps around the here at Sonoma, so they should have enough fuel to make it. But do they have enough tires to make it the rest of the way? Make sure that Logan Williams. Okay, good. Hopefully, we don't have a pit lane collision. As Annie Crenshaw is still running the what I like to call the CRL modified on her Mustang. We'll be 14 laps down and 14 laps to go here at the Sonoma Raceway. Skylar Taylor just came off pit road. Brandon Nelson's on pit road. And so is Alexander Underwood. I'm starting to wonder, Will Parrish is in, so is Mauser. I'm really curious. And Jesse Art's already, I think, made a pit stop. Yep, leaders are in. This got to be scheduled. So Brooke Packett, the race leader. Where is Christopher Bright? Bright's in the pits. The 9 of Byron Webb, he's in. What about Kyler Anderson? He's in. Okay, leaders are in the pits. Martindale is in. Yeah, this is pit stops. I would assume everybody's going to take 4 tires and fuel makes some good adjustments. Like I said, I wonder if tires are going to be a factor in this race. As Brooke Packett has led the entire race so far. And looks like we're going to have a lead change with Christopher Bright. Long stop for Brooke Packett as Christopher Bright will have the race lead coming out of the pits. Byron Webb will have second. Jesse Art has overtaken Kyler Anderson, so she'll be the new race leader for the Corvette class. Not too far behind, Sean Art has leapfrogged. Callaghan just leapfrogged Martindale. And Brooke Packett just went from the lead to about to be passed by the guy that's trying to run her down. That would be Riley Pearson. Boy, a long stop for Brooke Packett, who led a good part of this, who dominated the first half of the first half of this race. Excuse me there. Kyle Langland's on pit road. Indeed, I am correct. I'm kind of curious about this Langland situation. Careful coming out of the pits. And Christopher Bright is the race leader. Brooke Packett dropped from 1st to 14th. Ouch. She led the most laps, by the way, at 15. But we get our first lead change off the cycle of pit stops. And Christopher Bright, who comes into this race as I look through the point standings. Gave this race 24th in points. Boy, this would be huge for him. To get his first win on the season and his career. He does have a lap car, which is Kyle Langland, wedged nicely between him and Byron Webb, who's trying to hold off Jesse Art for second. And that's Emma Kaiser, who is in front of the race leaders. She's currently 2 laps down, about to go back 3 laps down. And remember, Kyle Langland is off sequence, so is Emma Kaiser, because both of them got stuck in the sand at turn 7 back there earlier on in this race. And Bright just goes off the course. So does Langland, but Langland's not for position. Jesse Art just took second. Where did Byron Webb? Oh, there's Byron Webb. He just got passed by the Art siblings of Jesse and Sean. Hopefully these two don't do what they did at Lime Rock, please. Thank you very much. Jesse Art comes to this race 13th in points. Her brother, Sean, her older brother, Sean, on the other hand, comes in this race 29th in points. So for Jessie, this is a good run to get herself into the top 10 in points heading into their home race next week. Nice motivational tutor. As I was saying, this is a great run for Jesse Art. Sean Art, on the other hand, this is a well-needed run for the defending series champion who's had a miserable season. And I should point out, these two are battling for the class lead. I should point out Jesse and Sean, GG. As we're coming to 10 laps to go in this race. The problem for Jesse got off the corner really slow. Looks like Sean got off that corner better than his sister. As Kyler Anderson just ran off the track back there in turn number 10. And if anybody needs a good run, it's Sean Art. He has not had a good season in that 0-4. Jessie Art has had a good season, even though she's 13th in the points, but this will definitely put her in the top 10 because, like I said, with a number of drivers running well in points, having some difficulties. Brooke Packett's probably going to be kicking herself. She had this race won till that cycle of pit stops kind of really hurted her. Brandon Nelson, that early pit gamble paid off. He jumped all the way to 14th as a result. And Annie Crenshaw, despite all that front end damage and running the quote modified, running in 20th. And I have no clue what happened to Addison Peterson. She's running in 27th. As I mentioned, came in second in points. The good news for her, the Viper driver that was trying to run her down for the points lead, I think that was Kyle Langland's not doing any better, running in dead last in 33rd. So, boy, Sonoma Raceway has played its part in shaking up the points, and we're about to have a point shakeup. But it's not going to affect Prudence Martindale because she came in this race as the points leader. I think the guy that's trying to run her down would be Riley Pearson. Riley Pearson's been on a pretty good momentum in the last couple of weeks.
I got me some new glasses today.
Cool. Riley Pearson running in 11th. This would definitely keep him in the top 10 of the points. However, he would end up losing points to Martindale, which I don't think that's the big thing. He is ahead of the gal that was second in points. That would be Addison Peterson. So Addie not having a great day, unfortunately. And Christopher Bright's running off the course. Jesse and Sean got off the course better. Oh, and I also see some skid marks. We've had a wreck in turn number 10. I don't know who it was. Is there anybody out of the race after that? Because I've noticed there's some skid marks in turn number 10. I think I found the culprit. It might have been Angel Gutierrez because look at the back end of his Corvette. Yeah, there's a lot of damage. And I think Reggie Fogelman had something to do with this. I didn't see this. Let's actually take a look at the replay to find out what exactly happened to the two in the 99. I have a feeling they had something to do with those skid marks in turn number 10. Coming to turn 10. Let's see. Wasn't this lap? Maybe it was next lap. Let me see. I'm trying to find out where those skid marks came from. Up right here, I think. No? Was it next lap? It was one of these laps because I saw skid marks coming off of turn number 10 or going to turn 10. Up right there. Yep, right there. Looks like Gutierrez ran a bit wide, and Reggie Fogelman ran in the back of him. And there's where the damage came from Fogelman and Gutierrez, and they were running in the top 20 at the time of the crash. That's a tough break for those two, as we're going to go back up to the front. Jesse Art still pulling away from Sean, but they have got to start reeling in Christopher Bright unless Bright has problems. As we're back to live action, so now we know where those skid marks came from. Jesse Art running in second, Sean Art running in third. Jesse, by the way, the Corvette leader. Sean Art in second. Christopher Bright is the overall leader and the Viper leader. Good run for Tatiana Naguera. Jaguar leader is now Prudence Martindale. And who's that leading the Mustangs? It's Cody Smart, who just dive-bombed David Heller. Haven't talked much about Cody all day, and he's up there in the top 10. So a good run for Cody Smart. And Cody came as race 12th in points. So, like I said, this is really going to shake up the points going into Texas next week, Texas Motor Speedway. Be a 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time green flag. Hope you will be with us for that as we'll go racing in the Lone Star State. And as I mentioned, Jesse and Sean, that will be their home race, as Christopher Bright just ran off the course in turn number 10. Looks like Jesse and Sean got off turn 10 better, so they're going to start reeling in that Dodge Viper of Christopher Bright. Christopher Bright came as race 24th in points, so a couple of drivers that are struggling in the points table, like Sean Art and Christopher Bright. This is good runs they need. And Sean is all over his sister. Remember, these two got together at a Lime Rock, which was not a family pleasant chat. So hopefully, if I'm the parents of Sean and Jesse, I don't want to have a heart attack after what happened at Lime Rock. Jesse Art will definitely be happy with a good points day. There's Byron Webb after a rough couple of weeks he's had. Byron Webb still having a good run, and Jesse ran off the course. Sean Art's going to pass Jesse Art for second. And that is, by the way, coming to the 4 laps to go signal, I like to point out. As Christopher Bright still leads this race. What a good race here today. Addie is down to 29th. Yeah, she's definitely going to take a hit in the points. I also noticed Bradley Reams about almost 55 seconds behind the leader, so I'm not sure what happened to him. That's a tough break for Bradley Ream. Not the way he want to wrap up the penultimate race on this West Coast trip. Of course, we have one more West Coast race we have to go to. Next time by will be 3 laps to go. Can Sean Art erase a 4.6 second deficit to catch the 88 of Christopher Bright? Even if Sean doesn't do that, if he doesn't catch Christopher Bright, that is, this is still a good points day for Sean. This is a well-needed run for him. He has had, like I said, he's getting beat by his sister in points. As I mentioned, 29th in the points, and with a lot of drivers ahead of him in points that have had troubles today, this is definitely what he needed, if you know what I mean. Alexander Underwood, I know, is going to take a big hit in the points. Yeah, 22nd in points. Former winner this season. Bright runs off the course. Can Sean Art not run off the course? So far, so good. Jesse Art did the same, so they're starting to gain a little bit on the 88, but it might be too little too late unless something goes wrong on the 88. So we're coming up to 2 to go. Neither Jesse nor Sean have been to victory lane this season. I believe Christopher Bright has been to victory lane. Let me double check that to confirm. Christopher Bright, as I'm looking at the points, no, he's not been to victory lane. So neither driver in the top 3 in the running order have been to victory lane. Bright, Jesse, and Sean. And of course, Byron Webb is ahead of Prudence Martindale by 4 spots. So Byron Webb's going to gain some points on Prudence Martindale today. Of course, the good news for Martindale, the gal that was trying to run her down for the points lead, which is Addison Peterson, back in 29th, as I mentioned, came in this race second in points. So, as I said, Sonoma really played its part in shaking up the points, and we're going to have a point shakeup heading into next week's race. As we're going to come to the white flag for Christopher Bright one more time around, sponsored by Credit One Bank. I think that only stop the leaders had to make. Christopher Bright nailed that pit stop, and I think that's what costed Brooke Packett the win and what got Christopher Bright possibly this win, if he can survive another 2 miles around this track. Sean Art, I know, is going to finish second, but Sean will definitely be happy with a second place result, and also ironically beating his sister on top of that. But the two will share the podium, so the overall podium. So all hopes are not lost. So a good run for Jesse Art, good run for Sean. This is going to help Sean go up through the points table. And also, Sean will take the win for the Corvette class, and looks like he's got that in the bag. As Christopher Bright rounds turn number 11, he'll see the checker flag with his name on it. His first career DRL Red Bull GT Series win. Christopher Bright wins at Sonoma. Sean Art's going to win Corvette over his younger sister. Cody Smart's going to win the Mustang class. Congratulations to Cody. And Prudence Martindale's going to win the Jaguar class. A wonderful win for Christopher Bright. I bet you he'll definitely take it. Standings are not yet official because they have not crossed the line. Christopher Bright will be the winner. Sean will get second. Good run for Sean. This is, like I said, going to help him in points, the defending series champion. Jesse Art third, Byron Webb fourth, Kyler Anderson fifth, Tatiana Nagora sixth, Cody Smart, Brooke Packett. What could have been a win for her? Apparently, they dropped the ball on that pit stop. She'll end up finishing eighth. I bet she'll be very disappointed with that. Riley Pearson in ninth, and Prudence Martindale will complete the top 10 as the standings are now official. Of course, even though there was no cautions, but it really jumbled up the running order. I can tell you that for certain. Top 15 was completed by David Heller, Brandon Nichols, Samad Oskin, Jeffrey Finguy, and Razor Callaghan. Top 20 was completed by Zachary Fitzwater, Skylar Taylor, Zachary Taylor. Of course, those two are not related, just pointing that out. Will Parrish, and Quentin Moore. You look on down through the remainder of the finishing results. A lot of these drivers had struggling days. Addison Peterson, not entirely sure what happened to her. Came as race second in points. She's definitely going to take a hit. Annie Crenshaw, that damage really hurted her as she faded back near the closing stages of this race. Bradley Ream had problems, never recovered. Neither did Alexander Underwood, Emma Kaiser, Kyle Langland. Kaiser definitely did not need this. She's already had a rough season, and 32nd, 2 laps down was definitely not what she needed. So she'll still be dead last of the drivers that have run the full schedule. Kyle Langland, on the other hand, came as race fourth in points. He was a driver that was running well in points, so he's going to definitely take a hit in the standings. And Sonoma has really played its part in shaking up the points, and we're going to have a point shakeup heading into next week at the Lone Star State of Texas Motor Speedway. That's where we're heading to next on the calendar, as we're going to go mile and a half racing and have some cautions on top of that. But thank you all for joining me for today's race here at Sonoma Raceway. If you guys enjoyed today's race, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCS Race Crew today. We show your full finish results. You'll see your rookie points, your overall points, and your class points, if I remember to do them in the Discord, heading into next week at Texas Motor Speedway. Until then, I've been Dean DeVoe signing off. You've been watching another broadcast of the DRL Red Bull GT Series on the PCS Race Sports Exhibit channel, the best NL racing around the world since 2017. Christopher Bright, his first career DRL Red Bull GT Series win at Sonoma. See you next week at Texas, everybody.